welcome to Friday, October 4th. Man, it's one of the most beautiful days of the year, at least that I felt. You know what I'm saying? I've been here in St. Louis for only a couple of months now. But even man, it's like a perfect 83 degrees with a slight breeze, not much, but just slight. And it's sunny outside, man. It's so after this stream, I'm gonna chill outside for a couple of minutes. More than a couple of minutes. I'm definitely gonna do my thing out there. But as y'all can see, I went to the barbershop yesterday, hit up my boy Chapo. Chapo gave me the chop, you feel me? So I'm looking all fresh. I continue to be amazed at what a nice lineup and taper can do for you. You know what I'm saying? Because my hair actually is a mess. Like if I take it down, you'll see it's frizzy. I need to get these things done so bad. But you go to the barbershop, just give you, you know what I'm saying? And I look like a straight Viking warrior right now. I look like a Celtic soldier. You feel me? With my dread mohawk thing I got going on right now. But either way, it is a good day. It is a good day. We got the queen. We got the queen of all queens in here. What's going on, Fritza? What you got going on, sister? Is it a beautiful day out there where you at? Because, man, it is nice here. It's literally one of the nicest days that I felt. But we got a couple of things to go over. We got Cora Quar. What's going on, Cora? Haven't seen you in here, but it's good to have you. And you got the purple hearts going on. And if you didn't know, purple is my favorite color. Purple is just the best color. So it's good to have you in here. We got Hassan. We got brother Hassan in the building. What's going on? How you doing? Yeah, I need to get mine retwisted so bad, but again, you go to the barber shop and it just works wonders. And that's the other thing too. Like when your hair gets long, like that. I mean, the longer you got dreads, so they can be they're wonderful, but they really can be a pain in the ass. But the longer your hair gets, the more it just looks nice for no reason. You feel me? So it's like I need to get my shit done, but not really. Not really. Now that I went to the barber shop, you know how that shit is. We got Libby and Elisa. How's everybody doing? But yeah, no, sometime in the next several weeks, I need to get these things handled. For real. All right, let's go ahead and get to it. Let's get to it. The port strike, and we talked about this several days ago, but we all pretty much were in agreement that it wasn't going to last very long. I mean, strikes like this usually don't last very long because when you got tens of thousands of people who are just like, nah, we're not gonna come to work, we're not gonna show up, then that puts the employers in a really difficult position because um that's why corporate America hates unions so much because of how much power workers have when they come together. But even more than that, um, I mean, with the ports, with everything coming into the country, there's no way they was gonna let this thing drag for more than a couple of days, and it didn't. So let's look in to see what they got as part of their deal. All right, make sure I got everything up. And it looks like I do. We got Michael. What's going on, brother? How you doing? Good to have you here. Thank you for being here. Striking port workers to return to work Friday as negotiators reach an agreement on wages. Striking members of the International Longshoremen's Association will be back to work today. The union announced last night as it reached a tentative deal with the management group representing shipping lines, terminal operators, and port authorities. The agreement amounts to a $4 per hour raise for each year of the 6-year contract. Excuse me. A source with knowledge of the negotiations told CNN that amount to a first year raise of just over 10% of the current contract's top pay of $39 an hour. With the 5 subsequent pay hikes, it will raise wages by 62% over the life of the contract. Well, hold on, let's keep reading. The union agreed to extend the contract it had with the United States Maritime Alliance, the management group known as USMX. That deal, which had expired at the end of Monday, will now be extended until January 15th and have the union members back on the job while the final details are worked out in a full agreement that will need to be ratified by the rank and file. In a statement, President Joe Biden praised the tentative wage deal, saying today's tentative agreement on today's tentative. I'm not that good at Joe Biden's voice. I'm good at a lot of people's voice, but not really his. Today's tentative agreement on a record wage and an extension of the collective bargaining process. And then he starts whispering, represents a critical progress towards a strong contract. He said, I congratulate the dock workers from the ILA who deserve a strong contract after sacrificing so much to keep our ports open during the pandemic. And I applaud the port operators and carriers who are members of the U.S. Maritime Alliance for working hard and putting a strong offer on the table. And overall, Biden has been pretty strong with unions. Not even just like with him doing the picket line, but also he made it such that basically anyone has the right to unionize. So if you and your coworkers want to put together a union and your employers deny it or say that you can't, you're instantly recognized. So that was probably the best thing that he did in terms of with unions. Definitely got to give him credit there. Vice President Kamala Harris has also applauded the agreement, saying in a statement, this is about fairness, and our economy works best when workers share in record profits. Dock workers deserve a fair share of their hard work, getting essential goods out to communities across America.
Are you worried that this strike is going to hurt the everyday American, the farmers that need to reach the export market?
Listen, now you start to realize who the longshoremen are, right? People never gave a shit about us until now, when they finally realized that the chain is being broke now. Cars won't come in, food won't come in, clothing won't come in. You know how many people depend on our jobs? Half the world. And it's time for them and time for Washington to put so much pressure on them to take care of us, because we took care of them. And we're here 135 years and brought them where they are today, and they don't want to share. And I'm done.
Just one question. What will it take to get you back into negotiations? What do you want to hear?
Oh, here, you want to hear it? $5 across the board for 6 years. I want all my container royalty, 50-50 split. It all comes back to the ILA where it used to be. What was the other one?
Absolutely no automation.
And automation, stronger language. To get me back to the table. If I don't get that, I'm not coming back to the table. And if we have to be out here a month or 2 months, this world will collapse. Don't blame them. Don't blame me. Blame them.
And it only took a few days. It only took a few days because, again, like you said, you talking about the ports, you're talking about everything that's imported, which is a whole lot of stuff. There's a whole lot of stuff that's imported. So they got their win, and they basically got what they were asking for. So again, just another nod and another example of organized labor. Acting Secretary of Labor Julie Su was on site in North Bergen, New Jersey, meeting with both parties as the talks entered their final stages. Su helped broker a deal between West Coast port workers represented by the International Longshore and Warehouse Union and the Pacific Maritime Associations in 2023, which resulted in a 32% pay increase over the life of the 5-year contract. The 50,000 members of the union working at ports from Maine to Texas have been on strike since early Tuesday morning, halting the flow of the majority of containerized imports. And again, they went back to work this morning. For weeks, business groups had been calling on the Biden administration to order strikers back to work, and good on him for saying no. And he did. He was like, "No, I'm not gonna order them back to work. They gonna stay out until y'all give them what they want." So definitely good on him for that. The work stoppage threatened the supply of everything from bananas to liquor to European luxury cars, all with the busy holiday shopping season less than 2 months away, and those shortages could have resulted in upward pressure on prices. But Biden had refused to use powers he has under the Taft-Hartley Act to block or end the strike, saying he would not interfere with the collective bargaining process. Biden, Harris, and Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg had all called on the USMX to negotiate a deal with the ILA that fairly shared its record profits with members. Shipping rates soared during and immediately after the pandemic as supply chains snarled and demand surged, according to analyst John McGone. Industry profits from 2020 to 2023 topped $400 billion, which is believed to be more than the industry had previously made in total since containerization started in 1957. The USMX said on Monday that it had offered workers a nearly 50% raise over the 6-year life of the contract, which comes to an average of $3 an hour per year. And they got four. They got four. So they got more than what they offered on top of the current hourly base wage of $39. The union had been demanding $5 an hour per year, according to ILA, the president. So they got a 62% raise. So yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, we gonna give y'all pretty much exactly what you want. But definitely good news right there. I remember I got the notification for that at sometime last night. I don't remember exactly what time it was. Um, but yeah, just a beautiful example of why corporate America does not like unions because of stuff like this. And it does make a difference too, who you have in office. One of Ronald Reagan's most famous moments was when he forced the air workers, the airport strikers, to go back to work. So, um, I'm reading what Libby said. 28-day lockout after a 1-day strike. But no, unions, organized labor in America has had a healthy amount of wins over the last couple of years. I mean, what are you really going to do when tens of thousands of workers say, I'm not going to come to work? I'm not going to make your products. What are you going to do? You got to come to the negotiating table. So that's why we absolutely need pro union, pro workers in office all over the place, not just at the federal level, but at the state and local levels as well. In the state of Missouri, where I was born and raised, where I'm at right now, you have right. This is a right to work state. And stuff like that is just a scam to defund unions. So, definitely a big win. We got Bernie Sanders congratulates the port workers. All right, where's he at? Where are his tweets? Oh, they. I thought he had more than this up. It's all good. Let me also congratulate our ex-secretary Julie Sue, who did a great job negotiating a tentative agreement to increase the wages of port workers by 62% over 6 years. Bernie Sanders. The man is definitely an icon. But yeah, definitely good news for unions. Good news for organized labor in America. Now let's move on to this. This is pretty funny right here. All right, let's go ahead and get to this. This is pretty hilarious. We got Kevin McCarthy. His beef with Matt Gaetz has not yet come to a close. It has not yet come to an end. They asked him, they said, if he's made amends with Matt Gaetz. I don't hang around with pedophiles. Their beef definitely has not cooled off at all. Kevin McCarthy. Okay, here we go. Let's see.
Or since then. And by the way, how was the relationship now? Because I know I saw you guys at the RNC where he walked up to you while you're talking to somebody. You wouldn't be on the stage. You would be booed or something like that.
Yeah.
Are you guys better now or still there's no...
No, I don't hang around with pedophiles. I'm sorry. And I don't think it... Look, these young women deserve justice. Can you imagine you're a member of Congress. You pay by Venmo to have sex with women. This woman is a junior in high school. You supply them with drugs. There's all these other reportings where he leaves a Trump event, uses his campaign money to rent a hotel, and lines out the cocaine for the other women that he paid inside the hotel room. Maybe they were over the age of 18. And I understand he doesn't want that to come public, but I'm not going to influence an ethics committee to try to take over to protect him.
Is that the one you're talking, Rob? Yeah, that's the moment that I think was... Yes. That you guys said, I think he came to give you a hug and a kiss to Middle Eastern way on the cheeks.
The one thing I see there is the one thing I've always learned. A leader keeps their head. Tell me in here who's the leader.
Press play, Rob.
What night are you speaking? Are you speaking tonight? Or no? Hey, you're not. If you
I don't hang out with pedophiles.
took that stage, you would get booed off of it.
This is the USA gear, limited edition for the rest of the year. If you love America, sport this USA gear. On the side it says "Future Looks Bright." On the back it says "Value Team," and on the side it's got the American flag. We got the shirts. We got the flip-flops. These are the only flip-flops I wear when I'm at the house and walking the dogs.
America. My American flip-flops. All right, what we got here? We got Trump's tiny crowd sizes. We got Trump's tiny crowd sizes. The funniest thing about this is this only matters because of how much it matters to him. We got Ghost Dog in the building. What's going on? How you doing today? Good to have you. All right, let's check this out. Hold on, let me get this up here. Yeah, we got the America flip-flops. I need to get me some America flip-flops. All right, let's see what's up. What we got here? That's just a gym. I mean, his shit really is waning, but you know, and again, it's just funny because this is really what he cares about. This is everything to him, being adored by crowds of whatever size. Yo, he's so washed up, man. He's just falling off like crazy. Bro, that's just the size of a track. This is just a track.
They can just read it and they think this is good. But who can do this? Who can fall asleep with cameras blazing? There's our president, the president-in-chief of China. They can just read.
That's pretty funny. All right, hold on. Let's see what's up with this. We got quite a bit of things today. No, we ain't gonna do this because I'm not gonna pay for that. All right, we got some Missouri news. We got some more Trump scams. We got more grifts going on. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let's see. Let's go here. We got some Marjorie Taylor Greene mess. You know what I'm saying? You hold on, Ghost Dog. You said it's 100 degrees and 300% humidity. Well, shit. I hope you I hope you got a wet rag or a wet towel and some air conditioning or something. Where you at? You in the Southwest or something? If it is that hot, you must be in the Southwest. All right, so what we got here? We got Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about Democrats basically, I guess, creating the hurricane. We interrupt our programming to inform you that Marjorie Taylor Greene believes Democrats are controlling the weather. This woman is a U.S. representative. And and if I'm not mistaken, this was her second term that she's serving. So she got reelected. Probably reelected again. Yes, they can control the weather. It's ridiculous for anyone to lie and say it can't be done. Oh, okay, Marjorie. So she says, oh no, where is it at? What's this?
This flooding in North Carolina does not sit well with me. I think something's going on. So I decided to do some digging. So the first thing I find out is North Carolina has the richest deposits of lithium in the entire world. Yeah, lithium for like cars, batteries, all that. Then I find out they have the world's highest purity quartz deposits. And that quartz just so happens to be the world's supply for AI chips, microchips, and all kinds of stuff. We're talking a $530 billion industry. So this is where it gets interesting. So a company by the name of Piedmont Lithium is awaiting a state mining permit for a site in northern Gaston County. And Gaston County is completely flooded right now. The project was awaiting zoning approval because they were getting backlash from the residents and also city officials. And this lithium mine they want would be the third largest producer of lithium in the world. And they made a deal with Tesla already. Now remember the quartz? So in Spruce Pine, North Carolina, right next to Ashland, they are wanting to expand their mines even larger. And the residents aren't having it either. Enter the floods. People, these are mountain towns. It rarely, if not ever, floods in the mountains. I would know. I grew up in the mountains in Colorado, which means none of these people have flood insurance. I mean, the media is saying biblical devastation in North Carolina, aka like the worst thing that could happen, and you're not coming back from it.
I can't tell if he's being sarcastic or what, but I guess it was all a big plot. You know what I'm saying? Hundreds of people had to die. Thousands of people are displaced from their homes. You know what I'm saying? All the damage, billions of dollars worth of damage. Also, that and this is how conspiracies are born again. I can't tell if he's spoofing or what, but
so I'm definitely a conspiracy theorist. Y'all know this by now, but this one takes the cake. So check this out. Hey Alexa, was Hurricane Helene artificially created?
From eGetTalk.com. To reduce the amount that can be paid out as compensation, Hurricane Helene was then artificially created, just like cloud seeding used to control and manipulate the weather, to flood and devastate those places.
Yeah, I can't tell if any of these people are being serious, but Marjorie Taylor Greene is. She thinks stuff like this is real, and she's an elected official. Yes, they can control the weather. If people can control the weather, then why wouldn't we make things better for ourselves overall? Like, if we have that type of technology, then I would think that we would probably, you know, do something about climate change. You feel me? Like in places where like it's really hot and desolate and it doesn't rain much, we would probably make it rain more in certain places so that we could, change the topography and the geography and stuff like that. We would probably do a lot of things along those lines, but there you go. We got Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about people being able to control the weather. And again, she is a sitting House representative. We got a little bit more from Marjorie Taylor Greene. She ain't done yet. She is not done yet. We got Aaron in the building. What's going on? Hold on. What we got? We got Lady. Hold on. Did I miss it? Yes, Lady. Thank you we got Lady F&T. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Everybody, all the new people on board, welcome aboard. Y'all, I really appreciate you so much, Lady. You really do a lot for me and for us. It really does mean a lot. It goes a long way. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate you. You said, where did she get these insane ideas? Man, people just be all online. This BS online, man. That's what I think it is. People just living online. Crazy people have always been around, though. But again, thank you so much, Lady F&T, for the 10 gifted memberships. We got Ishanti. I'm doing good. How are you? It is a incredibly beautiful day here in Missouri. America's problems are God's punishment for murdering babies. Of course, because that's how things work. You know what I'm saying? It's specifically that sin. It's not America's military industrial complex or our past issues with segregation and land theft and genocide and stuff. Not that. It's about abortion. That's specifically why God is punishing us. And yet and still, America, despite all of America's issues, America's still one of the best places to live in the whole world, which is why so many people want to be here. So let's see what she's getting at. Firebrand George, hold on. Is she okay? I was gonna say let's just listen to it if she's just gonna say it.
Have you considered the reason these evil leaders that we have over us today, both Republican and Democrat, are a result of the Almighty's punishment because we have turned from Him? And if so, what needs to be done in your opinion? I consider this every day, and I'll say it like that, are a result of the Almighty's punishment because we have turned from Him. And if so, what needs to be done in your opinion? I consider this every day. And I'll say it like this. We've been murdering babies since 1973. It's been legal. Abortion has been legal in this country since Roe versus Wade in 1973. We have been murdering over 63 million people in the womb. It's no wonder that our nation feels like it is under judgment. And
Again, first and foremost, abortions were happening before Roe v. Wade went into place. Abortions have been happening since before recorded history. People have been doing abortions forever. But again, I ask you, like, the whole founding of this nation, God was cool with all that. God was cool with the slavery, the land theft, the genocide. God was cool with all of that shit. But in 1973, that's when shit went south.
I say that as a Christian, and I think that's true. And politics is literally, in America today, is a fight between good and evil. And the line is clear. Thank you for that question.
And the Christians work with the Christians because Jesus is on the side of axing people's health care and making education less affordable, and God doesn't like gay people. God doesn't like women. God don't like none of that shit. That's why. Oh, okay, Marjorie. All right, what is this?
You guys are great. Thank you for sticking around. This is fun. FEMA wants more money. 640 million illegals spent on illegals. I'm not giving them a damn penny, I can tell you. Will it be earmarked for hurricane victims? You know what? If they can write checks constantly to Ukraine, if they can write checks constantly, we don't have to give them any more money. They need to just get their asses in there and help Americans. Excuse my language. I'm sorry.
Speaking of that, first and foremost, Joe Biden's administration is doing just fine with FEMA response. Republican governors and politicians have been thanking them. And again, like I said the other day, protecting and responding to natural disasters is just a basic function of government. That shouldn't be a partisan issue. It really shouldn't be. But again, it's funny that Marjorie Taylor Greene is sitting here talking about FEMA because she voted against funding FEMA, right? And so did many other Republicans. They voted against funding FEMA. Republicans in states that were hit by Hurricane Helene, states that are hit by hurricanes every single year, they were like, nah, we're not going to fund FEMA. So again, this shouldn't be a partisan issue at all. This is just literally basic government duty, but they can't do that. So,
this is beyond anything we've ever seen. And so I don't know what to say about it. Here's my problem. We have not been contacted by our Speaker of the House. None of it, our Congress has not been contacted about this issue at all. You would think we would have had a conference call or something this week, but we haven't even had a conference call from the Speaker of the House. We learn things.
Oh, she just dissed Mike Johnson. She said the Speaker of the House hasn't done anything. And again, it's the government is doing everything it needs to do and should do for the hurricane response. Again, this shouldn't be a partisan issue, but they are doing it. So it's really dumb that Trump and Republicans are going around saying that they're not. Like, why? What's the point of that? Like, why are you doing this? But yeah, no, this is hilarious. Again, coming from a woman who voted to not fund FEMA.
Ridiculous. I am learning things on television just the same way you're learning them. So I think what I'm going to tell you is, working in the government, I have learned one thing. The government fails the American people over and over and over again. And I'll remind you that you are the people. And
she said she's learning things on TV just like everyone else, which is a pretty, I don't know if you should have said that out loud, because Marjorie, you have access to information before everyone else. So basically what she's saying is she does nothing. She does nothing at her job. And she's talking about the government fails people over and over again. Republicans kill me when they talk like this, because it's like, you're a part of the government and they talk like they're not. Or like when they talk about the mainstream media, like Fox News anchors say the mainstream media, like Fox isn't the most watched cable news network in the country.
that is the government that you have the ability to support, and then also you have the ability to change it. And that right is given to us by our founding fathers. All I can do as your representative is go to Washington, D.C. with I'm not even 5'3", you guys. I'm under 5'3". But with every cell in my body, I can tell you, I pour out my heart and soul into trying to hold them accountable. Vote.
That's why I voted to not fund FEMA, because I care about y'all so much. I care about y'all so much. Ishanti, I'm not going to that concert. I didn't know they were here, but I won't be going to that, unfortunately. You told me about something cool. I didn't even know about that was going on here. But yeah, that's very rich coming from Marjorie Taylor Greene. All right. Let's check this out now. So a court was going to allow Biden to move forward with student loan forgiveness, and immediately after that, they was like, "Nah, never mind." Another court struck it down. Tinkerbell, what's going on? Good to have you here. Immediately after, they was like, "You can move forward with it." Another judge came in and was like, "Nah, fuck that." Biden's student debt forgiveness regulation on hold again after brief reprieve. Barely a day after a federal judge allowed a temporary restraining order that halted the program to expire, another judge imposed a new injunction. In less than 24 hours, the Biden administration won, then lost the ability to proceed with its new student debt relief plan that would deliver forgiveness to more than 25 million Americans. Student debt relief has become highly politicized and divisive as conservatives seek to dismantle President Joe Biden's plans, which they say unfairly burden taxpayers and are a naked attempt at swaying voters. The turn of events stems from a lawsuit filed in September by 7 Republican led states to stop Biden's new student loan forgiveness rule. The Education Department appeared on track to move forward with the program after a federal judge in Georgia let a temporary restraining order halting the plan expire and transferred the case to the Eastern District of Missouri on Wednesday night. Oh, well, it came to Missouri, so it was like, skirt, no. But the department's victory was short lived after the new judge in the case granted an injunction at the state's request on Thursday. The states, Missouri, Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, North Dakota, and Ohio, all Republican states, all of them, claim that the administration is exceeding its authority and illegally preparing to forgive loans before the rule is even in effect. They they say the regulation. I'm just laughing because Republicans they just ain't shit. Like the Republican Party is just trash, like through and through. They're just terrible. If it has anything to do with helping people, they're like, nah, fuck that. They say the regulation could hurt state tax revenue and the earnings of state entities such as the Missouri Higher Education Loan Authority. Mohela. Those arguments resonated with U.S. District Judge J. Randall Hall in Georgia when he imposed a restraining order last month. Yet he decided that Georgia, which claimed the forgiveness program would deny the state income tax revenue, failed to show sufficient harm. The court dismissed Georgia from the lawsuit, ruling the state had no standing and could no longer be the venue for the case. Hall said it would be more equitable to transfer the case to the Eastern District of Missouri because the states rely on the harm to Mohela as their primary basis for standing. Of course, they voted it down, though. But Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey has argued the quasi state agency that services federal student loans and funds state scholarships would lose revenue from servicing direct loans. Those made and owned by the federal government when the loans are reduced or eliminated. It's the same argument that was used to derail Biden's earlier plan to deliver up to $20,000 in student loan forgiveness to more than 40 million borrowers. So that for 40 million borrowers, they was like, hell no. And then this shit for 25 million borrowers, they were like, no, we can't do that either. Within hours of the case being transferred to Missouri, Bailey and the other state attorneys general petitioned the court. This is yet another win for the American people, Bailey said in a statement Thursday evening. The court rightfully recognized Joe Biden and Kamala Harris cannot saddle working Americans with Ivy League debt, with Ivy League debt, of course. We will never stop fighting for the rule of law and fair. This is about the American people, because everybody, look at this shit. Everybody with college debt, they went to an Ivy League school, so they can afford it. We don't want to pass off student loan debt forgiveness to regular everyday Americans who hold the debt. These people are so full of shit, man. This is a win for the people because we didn't allow this. These people are ridiculous, man. A spokesperson for the education department said the agency was extremely disappointed. Of course. But yeah, there you go. They shot it down. There was a chance that some of it could go through, and then they was like, "Nah, hell no, you can't do that." All right, hold on. Let's see what's up with this. Do I have a couple of these up. The pro-Trump clerk worker. Oh, we got Ariel in the building. We got Doctor Who gives a F in the building. What's going on? What is going on? We got Uncle Mike Boy in the building. What's going on, brother? All right. I'm just catching up. All right, let's go ahead and move on forward. What we got here? Oh yeah, so and y'all keep this in mind too. Like the people who tried to not in addition to everybody who stormed the Capitol, pretty much everybody who stormed the Capitol on January 6th being in jail right now. Um, the war, election deniers who didn't want to certify the election are getting prison sentences. Like this shit is a big deal. You feel me? Like this stuff is not. This isn't a little thing. This is treason against the country. So which is funny because we all know Donald Trump's going to try to steal this election. He's not going to succeed at it. But everyone who tries to help him, they're going to get 9-year prison sentences. They're going to get in trouble for it. So, and it's just ridiculous to think about how many people ruined their lives. Like, look at Rudy Giuliani. Yeah, he was a douchebag before Donald Trump, but his legacy, his career, his credentials, all destroyed for Donald Trump. Mike Lindell turned his life around and then completely flushed it down the toilet, all for Donald Trump. How many people are in jail right now for Donald Trump? Like, bruh, and all for what? Like, this dude's a game show host. All right, pro-Trump clerk. She got 9 years. And again, this shit is serious. Tina Peters was sentenced to 9 years in prison yesterday. The former county clerk from Colorado believed that the 2020 election had been stolen from Donald Trump. In 2022, she allowed a man associated with with Mike Lindell to access the Mesa County election systems. For that breach, she was found guilty on 3 counts of attempting to influence a public servant, 1 count of conspiracy to commit criminal impersonation, and 1 count of violation of duty, among other charges. I was just trying to do my job. I was just trying to do my job. Peters told District Judge Matthew Barrett during her sentencing hearing, adding that she was appalled by characterizations of her around the trial. Yeah, I tried to help somebody steal, and I tried to defraud the American people because I was just doing the right thing. I've often said God doesn't like people messing with his kids, and I believe I'm a child of God. It was important for someone to stand up, and I've chosen to do that. Okay, well, you could have done like social work, or you could have been an advocate for children's rights if you really care about kids. I don't think that, uh, you know, committing fraud against the electoral system is the answer to that. I think you're just full of shit. Got to bring God into it, of course, because of course this is what God would want someone to do.
I'm very taken back by how awful I've been depicted when I was just trying to do my job. The people expected me to do. When I look at the people that have spoken here today and asking for harsh sentences, I'm just appalled. I feel bad for them because I know I've often said God doesn't like people messing with his kids. And I believe I'm a child of God. And I believe that
you're a child of God, but no one else is. I guess that's what she's getting at.
It was important for someone to stand up, and I chose to do that. I have health problems that would not be treatable in the Department of Corrections. First of all, I need a magnetic mattress. I've been on that since 1995.
What? She said she can't go to prison because she needs a magnetic mattress. Well, girl, you should have thought about that before you committed federal crimes.
It was
Did she hold on, am I tripping or did she really just say that?
important for someone to stand up, and I chose to do that. I have health problems that would not be treatable in the Department of Corrections. First of all, I need a magnetic mattress. I've been on that since 1995. I was in 2 rear-end collisions in 84 and 2010. It was pretty severe. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, I don't know if you can zoom in a little bit, and chronic fatigue as a result, and I had to stop working for the airlines in 1995.
Yeah, well, girl, that's too damn bad because you are now being made an example out of by the state. You're being made an example out of so that other people, if they do try to do what you did, no, okay, you can do this, but we gonna catch you, and when we do, you're gonna go to prison for a long time. So you're being made an example of, and you earned this for yourself. I need a magnetic mattress.
I was up all night because I was in bed all day. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't control these symptoms until I got, believe it or not, a magnetic mattress of which I still sleep on. I will not have that at the Department of.
Is she a magnetic mattress? What does that even do? Like, if you got like, what if you got like a fake hip or a fake knee or some shit, and you just glued to the bed? Like, does she float? She floats like a couple inches off the mattress or some shit.
Corrections.
She said, I can't go to prison because I need a magnetic mattress. Oh my. What is this?
In the machine, whatever it tabulates is whatever it tabulates.
No, it doesn't. It changes.
You're not letting me finish.
Okay,
Whatever
please.
it tabulates is whatever it tabulates. My hand vote, my ballot remains the same. They counted those ballots. Did they
understand.
not?
I understand what you're saying,
Did
Your
they
Honor.
count the ballots?
No, the ballot images were changed, and that's what the total shows. Okay, I'll move off of this because I can see that it, I would encourage to read the report number 3.
I've read them, ma'am.
You've read all of them?
I've read those reports. They were given to me at some point, I believe.
Good, good. Well, so you know what I'm saying is true. All right, let me move on.
Yo, I mean, again, like she's sitting there, she in all this trouble, caught dead to rights, and she's sitting there telling the judge, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying is true. Trump really has amassed the craziest people in the country. Like you're insane. You're insane.
It's not funny. My life is on the line here, Your Honor.
Yeah, you put yourself in that position. He's laughing at you because you're ridiculous.
Good, good. Well, so you know what I'm saying is true. All right, let me move on. It's not funny. My life is on the line here, Your Honor.
No, you're the one who's making this allegation that one,
It's
I think
not
it's
an
funny,
allegation.
and 2, that I know it's true. You're saying that as if I believe you, and I did not say that. That is why I made the sound, because it's insulting to me for you to just put that in a record in front of all of these people that I believe something to be true.
Okay, and I apologize for that, Your Honor. That wasn't my intent.
Again, you're being made an example out of, and anybody who tries to do what you did is the same thing gonna happen to him. The same thing, because Donald Trump, he knows that he knows he can't get out the vote enough. He knows. Not only does he know that, he's not even trying to get the vote out. So he's like, oh, I'm just gonna steal it because you had so much success with that last time. And like I said, he's just gonna get himself into more trouble than he's already in when he fails to steal the election a second time. Like he is in Donald Trump is he's in such a bad position, man. Like he really is. Did y'all see this shit? Hold on. Here we go. Oh, we got Lord of Bananas in the building. What's going on? Yeah, she's sitting here talking about some. I need a magnetic mattress. Like, oh, I need $1 million. That'll really help me out a whole lot. We all need something, don't we? Shit. Trump refused to give California wildfire aid until he knew how many. Basically, he was like, oh, no, I don't have any voters there, so fuck them. This is who he is. This is who he is. In the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, former President Donald Trump has blasted the Biden administration for its handling of the disaster. He's just lying about it, but we know that. He's just flat out lying about shit. But a review of Trump's record by Politico and E&E News and interviews with 2 former Trump White House officials show that the former president was flagrantly partisan at times in response to disasters. and on at least 3 occasions hesitated to give disaster aid to areas he considered politically hostile. Again, this is who he is, man. Like, this isn't surprising. None of this is surprising. This is who he is. And millions of people want him to be president again because they're just his cult followers. Mark Harvey, who was Trump's senior director for resilience policy on the National Security Council staff, told E&E News on Wednesday that Trump initially refused to approve disaster aid for California after deadly wildfires in 2018 because of the state's Democratic leanings. But Harvey said Trump changed his mind after Harvey pulled voting results to show him that heavily damaged Orange County, California, had more Trump supporters than the entire state of Iowa. He's such an, oh my God, this dude, God, he has the mind of a 7-year-old. He genuinely does. He never grew up. He's almost 80 years old and he never grew up. We went as far as looking up how many votes he got in those impacted areas to show him these are people who voted for you, said Harvey, who recently endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris along with 100 other Republican former national security officials. The exchange, not previously reported, drew a dumbfounded response on social media yesterday from President Joe Biden, who summed up Trump's attitude. You can't only help those in need if they voted for you. Come on, Jack. It's the most basic part of being president. And it is. Like, again, like I was talking about FEMA response, like that's some of the most basic duties of the office of the presidency. Respond to natural disasters, keep the country safe using the military, approve different things that the military does, and basically to pass budgets for where, like money that goes to the education department, money that goes to the health department. That's basically what the president does. But yeah, again, of course he did this. None of this shit is surprising. Nothing like this is surprising. Hold on, what we got here? We got something with Josh Hawley. Hmm. All right, let's check this out. We got Senator Josh Hawley. Yeah, and also I think as well we saw I think I remember that report. So this is just old news coming back up. But yeah, no, it really is like, and again, one of the biggest things that stuck out to me about the vice presidential debate between Tim Walz and JD Vance, I was like, yo, Donald Trump, he's so dumb. He's so dumb. Like, you saw JD Vance up there polished, giving a fine performance, like knowing his points that he wanted to deliver. And Trump's just like, all right, where we at? Where we at here? We got no, this time he's not talking about being a man, Fritz. This has something to do with legislation. Jack Danforth blames Josh Hawley for Missourians losing out on radiation compensation. U.S. Senator Josh Hawley's failure as a legislator is most glaringly obvious in the demise of a bill providing coverage to Missourians exposed to radiation from nuclear weapons development. Former U.S. Senator Jack Danforth said Thursday. Danforth gave his grade on Hawley's legislative career during a Thursday tour of the state with Joplin businessman Jared Young, who created a new political party for his bid for the seat Danforth held from 1977 to 1994. Young is trying to draw disaffected Republicans, independents, and moderate Democrats to his banner of the better party. Well, we already know that third parties really don't have a chance. And it's not even like it's some kind of sinister conspiracy as to why Republicans and Democrats are the only viable parties. It's because we can only cast one vote per election. So, it's that basically locks it into a two-party system. So the better party could replace one of the parties hypothetically, but it would still just be a two-party system overall. Danforth is a Republican who was once considered Hawley's political mentor, having encouraged him to run for the Senate after less than a year as Missouri's Attorney General. Hold on, I just was reading the text, my bad. On Thursday, Danforth said Hawley's political style as an antagonistic, camera-seeking populist is the reason the Radiation Exposure Compensation Act renewal bill failed to get a vote before Congress recessed for the election. They're going to be gone for 6 weeks. That costs not only Missourians, but residents of New Mexico and every other state already covered by the law, Danforth said. Advocates from Missouri and New Mexico, along with other areas where federal weapons work contaminated the land, worked for more than a year to expand the program as it neared a renewal vote. He became so obnoxious in his public attacks of the Republican Speaker of the House, the Republican leader of the Senate, the Republican congressman from the district. He came away with nothing and ended up killing the whole bill for the rest of the country. While the presence of radioactive contamination in suburban St. Louis was known for years, an investigation by the independent Muckrock and the Associated Press revealed in 2023 that the federal government and companies handling the waste were aware of the threat to the public long before informing residents, of course. Of course. And this goes back to the Manhattan Project when they were building the bombs. 2 weeks after the Independent published its findings, the U.S. Senate approved an amendment from Holly renewing the law and added Missouri and New Mexico to the list. And basically, Josh Hawley screwed that up. Screwed that up, running around the country trying to be famous. All right, what is this? We got more very, very strange and weird Republicans running for office because it is now the MAGA party. It is not the Republican Party. It is now the MAGA party. Let's see. GOP hopefuls send debate off the rails. What is this?
A drag queen to recruit for the Navy. That when you're using a drag queen to recruit for the Navy, that's not the people we want. What we need is alpha males and alpha females who are going to rip out their own guts, eat them, and ask for seconds. Those are young men and women that are going to win wars.
Please.
We need alpha male men and women who will rip out their own guts, eat them, and ask for seconds. Because the U.S. military it's so weak, and we struggle so much with world domination. It's so hard for us. We only got 800 plus military bases around the world, and the most technologically advanced military the world's ever seen. But all of a sudden, it's just the military is just too it's just too gay. I guess it's too gay and it's too trans, so we can't kill people effectively anymore. Obviously, this is nonsense. If the Army, Air Force, military, whatever wants more people in it, then they need to give people more incentive because this country is not in danger. There's not really, you know, unless people are very patriotic or just want a career in the military in some type of way, there's not really a national draw, call to arms like we have to fight her. That's not happening. So you have to make it more of a career for people. Give them more money, pay them more, give them better incentives, and you'll get more people to join the military. Very simple. But yeah, this guy's pretty strange. During the showdown, Cal was asked about the military struggles to find sufficient numbers of new recruits. In his own past comments, blaming diversity, equity, and inclusion. Yeah, that's why the army's too diverse. That's all it is. They kicked out tens of thousands of military people that refused to take a COVID vaccine. So if you're a military person or a young person wanting to go in the military, would you trust the military or government that would turn your back on them just for an experimental vaccine? This guy's an idiot, man. Like again, more and more just complete morons are being elected to the Republican Party. What we need is alpha males and alpha females who are going to rip out their own guts, eat them, and ask for like why even say this? Like people feel like if they serve in the military, they'll fall behind. No, you'll zoom ahead because of benefits like the GI Bill and others. But yes, no, that was just a very strange comment that he made. Like I'm pretty sure the military pretty regularly attracts people who are tough. Okay, did y'all see this? My man's from the Sixth Sense, Joel. I forgot his last name, Joel. Um, from the Sixth Sense. He was playing JD Vance. Pretty accurate too. Let's check this out. The donut shop.
In charge. JD Vance is definitely not a pot smoker. His eyes are too blue. If JD Vance smoked a joint, it'd be like looking into two little American flags on his face. But he seems like he's high all the time. It seems like he ate a fistful of gummies. Over the summer, JD had a lot of trouble in a donut shop, and the damage from that was significant, which is why his campaign has now made his donut shopping a top priority.
Hi, I'm Ohio Senator J.D. Vance. The mainstream media, they want you to think that I'm weird. They call me creepy, cringy, awkward, that I give people something called the ick. They want you to think that I can't order a simple donut. But that's ridiculous. Follow me. Hello?
Hi.
Okay. How long you worked here?
A year?
Okay. Donut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which donut, though?
Just whatever makes sense. No pickles. Hold the pickles.
He said, "Hold the pickles." This is basically exactly how it went down, though.
Oh, well, no, I can get that for you.
The Democrats say I don't know how to talk to people, but that is just not true. Hello, worker. May I sit? Sure. So, how long you been black?
He said, "How long you been black?"
I smell pregnant woman.
Oh, shit.
Hello, ma'am. When do you spawn?
That's none of your business.
And you, sir, you must be the father.
I'm 9. Please get away from us.
I'm sorry. Now, your door nuts are on me. Liberals even stooped so low as to suggest that I made love to a couch. How would a man even make love to a couch? Would he take an old wallet, lubricate both sides with Miracle Whip, smush it all up in a plastic bag, stuff it in the couch cushions? No way! You get banned from the Macy's and the Kenwood Town Center for life if you did that. So this November, vote for me and President Trump to make America normal again.
This message was paid for by the committee to re-elect. Oh, sorry.
No, you go. I interrupted.
This message was paid for by.
I haven't seen him in very much of ever since he wasn't a kid. When he grew up, he was in some like artificial intelligence movie or something. And then after that, I don't remember him being in that much stuff. But he played that shit perfectly. He definitely played that very perfectly. He said, "How long you been black?" All right, where we at now? Let's check out the jobs report, which came out to be pretty decent. Pretty decent jobs numbers. We got to get people's wages up, but the jobs numbers are pretty good. A blockbuster jobs report on Friday paved the way toward a soft landing in which inflation returns to normal levels while the U.S. economy averts a recession. Employers hired 254,000 workers last month, blowing past economists' expectations of 150,000 jobs. The unemployment rate ticked down to 4.1%. The labor market ended a months-long slowdown, rebuking any lingering concern about an imminent recession and easing pressure on the Federal Reserve to stimulate the economy with rapid-fire interest rates. Instead, they added the robust bill of health for the economy allows the Fed to keep close watch on inflation while steadily lowering borrowing rates in an effort to maintain the solid job market. A soft landing is in sight. Elise Alzenball, head of the investment strategy at JP Morgan Wealth Management, told the ABC News in a statement. The bottom line here is that a resilient labor market is continuing to support consumers, and the Fed is cutting rates. Weaker than expected jobs data in both July and August had stoked concern among some economists about the nation's economic outlook. A marked uptick in the nation's unemployment rate had also drawn concern, though the measure remained near 50-year lows. 2 weeks ago, the Fed cut its benchmark interest rate a half of a percentage point, signaling a shift toward greater focus on safeguarding a strong labor market. The fresh jobs data defied any such worries by presenting a rosy picture of the economy in which employers are hiring at a strong pace. A large share of people are staying on the job and wages are rising at a fast pace. 254,000 jobs added. It was expected it would be 150,000, but there was more than that. All right, what we got here? We got more. Well, hold on. No, we don't need to go over this. Just more weird ass people running for Republican office, but they're losing very badly, so they're not going to win this. Let's see. We got Trump telling Dave Ramsey that his plan to lower interest rates is to drill for oil, which as you know, we already drill more oil than we ever have. We're more energy independent than we ever have been before. So we just got to drill more oil and tariff everything coming into the country, and that's all we got to do. Because he put the tariffs on Chinese steel because they were dumping steel. But that same, concept doesn't work everywhere. He put the tariffs there to discourage them from dumping steel, but you can't just put tariffs on everything coming into the country just because. That's just going to raise prices for everything. But Donald Trump knows better than all the economists and shit like that. So, of course, it won't. All right, what we got here? We got. What is this? Right, he said, drill, baby, drill. This was just kind of strange. I think this is Mike Collins. Yeah, he posted. This was after the debate. He didn't post a regular picture of JD Vance after the debate. He posted a doctored photo where JD Vance has a very chiseled jawline. You know what I'm saying? A bit thinner, and he said, "Good morning," which this is pretty strange. You know what I mean? Definitely a bit different. My man said, "This is again." He could have just posted if he was going to post a normal picture. He could have just been like, "JD Vance did great at the debate last night." But all he said was, "Good morning." Like, ooh, he loved him some JD Vance. This is pretty funny. I don't know why he posted that, but he did. All right, what is this? As Oklahoma. Oh, okay. I think Oklahoma's buying Trump Bibles for schools or something like that. Let me see. What's this Trump Bible shit? But yeah, that was just kind of weird that he put that out there. But the Republicans are the party's filled with very weird individuals. We got even devout Christians are appalled as Oklahoma mulls $3.3 million bid on Trump Bibles for schools. In Deep Red, Oklahoma, a state that Donald Trump carried by 33% in the 2020 presidential election, Republican State Superintendent Ryan Walters has ordered on June 27th that all public schools must have Bibles in classrooms for grades 5 through 12. Since the order was handed down, Oklahoma public schools have been scrambling to make sure they have Bibles on hand. And according to the Oklahoman, the Bible that mostly easily fits in Walter's requirement is the Trump Bible. These people are so full of shit, man. The Trump Bible is singer Lee Greenwood's God Bless the USA Bible, which Trump has endorsed and been making money from. Greenwood's Trump Bible sells for $60 each online, and Trump has been receiving fees for his endorsement, and the cost to Oklahoma could come out to $3.3 million or more. Everything's a grift. It's all bullshit. Oklahoman reporters Jennifer Palmer, Paul Monies, and Heather Warlick note that when bids opened for a contract to supply 55,000 Bibles to the Oklahoma Department of Education, there were very specific criteria. According to the bid documents, the journalists explained, Vendors must meet certain specifications. Bibles must be the King James Version, must contain the Old and New Testaments, must include copies of the Pledge of Allegiance and Declaration of Independence, U.S. Constitution, and the Bill of Rights, and must be bound in leather or leather like materials. So basically, they have to be. Bro, this shit is such a scam. I mean, first and foremost, this violates separation of church and state. But even if you look past that, why do these Bibles have to include the Pledge of Allegiance and the Declaration of Independence? Mind you, that's what's in the Trump Bible. But it's just, is this shit really about God? These people, man. Palmer, Monies, and Worley continue. A salesperson at Mardell Christian and Education searched, and though they carry 2,900 Bibles, none fit the parameters. But one Bible fits perfectly. Lee Greenwood's God Bless the USA Bible, endorsed by former President Donald Trump and commonly referred to as the Trump Bible. Bro, he's just grift. All he does is grift his supporters. This dude is selling $100,000 watches that people might not even get if they pay for them. Oklahoma's relationship with the Trump Bible is receiving a lot of discussion on Twitter. The Washington Post's Megan McArdle tweeted, "This is beyond gross, not just the grift, but the fact that a government institution is requiring a religious book come bedecked with our founding documents, which offends me as both an American and a Christian, and a violation of the separation of church and state in spirit, if not in law." Shameless. This dude does not have a drop of shame in his body, and neither does anybody else in MAGA. I mean, like, are you serious? Not only are they violating church and state, but y'all gonna put millions of dollars worth of Trump Bibles throughout the state just because Trump's gonna make money off of it. That's the only reason they're doing it. It's just a favor for Donald Trump. But a regular King James Bible won't do. You got to have the Trump Bible. Yeah, no, that's incredibly egregious. That's amazing. All right, what we got here? Hopefully, we can get Ted Cruz up out of the Senate. I'm hoping. We got this last story, and then I'm going to go outside because it is beautiful. Ted Cruz challenger gets another major Republican endorsement as Texas Senate races further tightens. Former Rep. Adam Kinzinger will lead a group of Republicans backing Colin Allred. Democratic Texas Rep. Colin Allred is getting another electoral boost from a Republican as he seeks to upset Ted Cruz in this state Senate race. Former Rep. Adam Kinzinger, who will co-chair a group called Republicans for Allred. Kissinger famously departed from the mainstream GOP after the January 6th assault on the Capitol, even serving on the House committee that investigated the events. He was also one of the 10 House Republicans who voted to impeach Trump for his efforts to overturn his defeat in the 2020 elections and spoke at the Democratic National Convention in August of this year. He withdrew his reelection bid in 2022 after his Illinois district was eliminated from the congressional map and moved to Texas. Moved to Texas. Oh, he moved to Texas. Cruz's campaign dismissed. I was like, the district moved to Texas? No, he did. Cruz's campaign dismissed the announcement in a statement, calling it another fake feel-good vanity project. You don't have to look any further than the co-chair, Adam Kinzinger, a disgruntled former congressman who is on a vindictive rampage against everyone with an R next to their name, to know how deeply unserious and pathetic this is. The backing adds to others who have publicly supported the Democrat as he closes the gap with Cruz a little over a month from the elections. Another high-profile Republican rep to have done so is Liz Cheney, who said Cruz can't be trusted. I know Cruz will say anything if it serves his own political purpose. Cheney also made the headlines. She was campaigning in Wisconsin. Yesterday she was campaigning in Wisconsin with Kamala Harris. Going back to Allred, Cheney said, okay, let's see. I think there's some numbers in here. Let's look at these numbers. Okay. He still faces an uphill battle, winning the seat. A polling average based on 32 surveys from The Hill and the Decision Desk HQ shows Cruz leading the race by 2.9 percentage points at 48% to Collins' 45. That places the incumbent with a 75% chance of winning. So yeah, it's still a long shot, but man, hopefully we can get Ted Cruz up out of there because oh, he is just the worst. He really is, right? He really is. But yes, y'all, thank you so much for joining me today. We had a bit of a shorter stream, but I got to get outside because it is just too beautiful. It's too beautiful for me to not spend some time outside. So y'all have a fantastic weekend, and